Audio on demand from Vision Christian Media.
Exploring faith and the future. Neil Johnson and Bible teacher Dr. Kameel Majdali.
It's absolutely true that from time to time in our personal lives, things will happen that are beyond us. Problems that are created, crises that occur, sometimes difficult to solve because the solution is beyond us. And so we say, how do we call out to God to come in and be a part of the resolution of our issues? Kameel, when we talk about involving God in our problems, in our crisis, I guess we ought not to assume that God doesn't know we're already in the crisis.
Oh, Neil, God knew we were in crisis before the world began. The point is God knows everything. That's why we say he's omniscient. That's a good theological term. He's all-knowing. And what's really good news is he not only knows what the problem is, he also knows the solution. And sometimes the solution will not be apparent, or it'll come from our vantage point out of left field. But the thing is this, in our world today, we face some massive, unprecedented problems, whether it's the American debt balloon. And I just read something rather disturbing. It's bad enough America has a debt bomb, but apparently China now has one too. Now, the massive difference here is that China has money in the bank. America doesn't have any money in the bank. China had like $4 trillion in the bank, but I also found out China is borrowing heavily, and that 45% of the money she uses to repay the debt is just for the interest, something of that sort. Now, that's not how China always operated, but China is. So when you got the two biggest economies in the world ratcheting up the debt, that's a problem. But there's other problems. There's the issue of nuclear proliferation. There's the problem of global terrorism and jihadism. There's the problem of pressure on families, or family redefinition, or gender redefinition. All these things create a situation that can be beyond our ability to cope. What I wanted to share with our listeners, there is a way forward, but you have to do it with God. And that's what the early church did, and their example will be helpful to us all.
Crises and problems that happen at individual level, family level, community level, church level, and national level, if we're looking for divine solutions, are the principles all the same?
There are general principles, in my estimation, that are universal. They apply to family, it applies to individuals, it applies to a community, it applies in the political sphere, because principles are principles. And we are all the sons of Adam and daughters that thereof as well. Then there are some things that are individual and are contextual, and you just have to adapt it as per the situation. But what I'm trying to say is, I believe in divine leadership. Now, it's not a term we use because we think of God as Lord, not leader. And leader seems to be a downgrade when it comes to God because he's Lord of all. But let's face it, there is that aspect of him, the divine leadership. And if we let him lead the way, then we will surely get to the other side.
Faith and the Future with Neil Johnson and Dr. Kameel Majdali from Teach All Nations. For more from Dr. Majdali, including books and DVDs on prophecy, Bible commentaries, plus today's and other episodes of Faith and the Future, go to vision.org.au.
Thanks for taking time to listen to this audio on demand from Vision Christian Media. To find out more about us, go to vision.org.au.